Delicioso. Oh my god. Okay. Oh my goodness. I'm just making a mess. Let's see. Let me just make sure you guys can hear me. You're yeah. That's me. Oh my goodness. Okay. We're gonna wait a couple seconds. And I think we should be good. At least we have one viewer. Hello, Twitch. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get started. Hi guys, I'm so sorry for the jump cut. It is a different day. I'm just gonna stitch these two videos together. I had to step away, so I wasn't able to finish this video, but that's what we're gonna continue watching right now. Oh my god, why do I keep doing that? Oh my god, I'm literally doing the wrong video. Of course I am. Okay. Now we're starting. First of all, she did not criticize anybody. They literally had already mentioned they had not watched that video, and they clipped Paige's facial expression to say she was criticizing Jen, and that wasn't the truth. So can you guys not hear that? I don't think you guys can hear it. Of course. Hold on. Oh my gosh.
Blasting Gabby Hanna music. Okay, I would call a little bit of that hysterical.
Calling her a bully, calling her a harasser.
I do think that she's a bully. I also think that she's a harasser too. Paige, look, isn't that crazy? Paige isn't saying these things, but I'll say them.
Saying that she's doing too much. Paige
And why is Paige the one who's getting singled out?
was perpetuating that. With
Alright, let's go back. I'm so sorry. You see, this is why I always double check. And then the one time that I don't double check. Whatever. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and restart this again. I never finished watching this video, so that's what we're gonna do right now.
Publish the video. I did watch Paige's entire video.
I'm sure.
And that was specifically because...
Believe me. Just believe me.
Because I wanted to see if I wanted to leave that section in or not.
That is bullshit. You must be new around here. This is bullshit.
And as far as further victimizing Jen goes, the video was bad. It was. Yes, it offered some critique to Adam, but she also offers critique to Jen about those very things that I criticized Paige for.
Like I said, and I mentioned previously, she was not criticizing Jen. There's no way for them to know that Paige was criticizing anything about anything because they've already have admitted to not even watching Paige's video and just clipping her facial expression and using that and running with that.
What were you criticizing Paige on? That she had a look? You cannot say based on the things I was criticizing you for. You cannot say that in this context. What were you criticizing her for?
Perpetuating.
Dude, this is crazy. Perpetuating what? Being so fucking for real. What do you mean? What could she have possibly perpetrated in a 10-second clip of her watching a clip and not saying anything? It literally is buzzwords. It's these people that want to feel smarter than they are.
In line with what Paige was perpetuating, her comment section
Wasn't perpetuating.
was filled with people calling Jen aggressive, calling her cringe.
Okay, maybe people watch clips and make their own mind up. Actually, Paige not saying anything shows even more that people came up to their own conclusions. Why are you so dead set on trying to clear Jen's image based on her own behavior? Jen is hysterical.
I also said that in my last video. Like, it's kind of crazy that at the time that they're making this video, the information about Jen harassing Adam, all the verbiage she is using to just put down the muckers and using derogatory terms, all of that is already out there. And they're still doubling down at the fact that, oh, Jen this, Jen that, feeling empathetic towards Jen. And I'm going to say this again. Yes, Jen was in the right at the time for the whole Gabby Hanna situation. She was a victim in that. However, this is different.
Okay, like, just look at her content. She's playing on VR worlds with fucking kids, blasting Gabby Hanna music. Okay, I would call a little bit of that hysterical.
Calling her a bully, calling her a harasser.
I do think that she's a bully. I also think that she's a harasser too. Paige, look, isn't that crazy? Paige isn't saying these things, but I'll say them.
Saying that she's doing too much. Paige
And why is Paige the one who's getting singled out?
was perpetuating that. With
No,
her
she
video,
wasn't.
So I considered refilming that section.
Paige was not perpetuating anything. Honestly, shut up. I don't understand at all how you can still be doubling down on this.
Truthfully, with even more criticism than I gave in that section, because I had even more to say now that I had watched Paige's video. But I really felt that those first 10 seconds were enough.
Sorry.
I like making my podcast.
Now, I know that for you guys, this probably is crazy to hear and sounds fucking insane. Can you imagine that POV or me, and I've just watched this person harass me for not doing intensive Google search histories on Alyssa, be like, I watched 10 seconds and decided it was enough. I can understand from your perspective, not being involved, how crazy this is. Can you imagine from my perspective where I'm like, oh my god, everyone who talks shit about me is stupid. Like, legitimately stupid. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. This shit will make you go crazy.
I felt that they did enough damage to communicate that that was a shitty thing to do to Jen, to a victim. I don't regret offering that criticism. I really don't. Seeing the
Oh my god, are you apologizing for anything in this damn video?
damage that it did to
What da-
Jen, seeing her reaction to it, it hurt me.
This is weird. This is so weird. I can't believe this is what you're saying after watching Paige's video. Now, if you're watching on stream right now, or you're watching my videos on YouTube back to back, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. I'm already still sitting in that Paige video. How is this your first vocal response to Paige's video? Is I wouldn't change a thing. I wouldn't. That's not normal. That's not normal.
Weird behavior.
It upset me. I was angry about it. Where I did fuck up, though, was in a section of my video
Where you did fuck up. Are you suggesting that what you just said, oh my god, you're not even apologizing for doing that? Where you did fuck up?
where I tell Paige Christie, you should have known better. In fact, I think I say, you of all people should have known better. That's the phrasing that I use. I want to first explain what I meant when I said that, but that's not me excusing the fact that I said it. So I had been a fan of Paige Christie's for a very, very long time. I was there back when her controversy with Jackie Aina happened, where Jackie Aina accused her of hacking her bank account. Anyway, at the time, a lot of fans of Jackie Aina's were weaponizing the fact that Paige was angry, the fact that she was agitated about the situation, because of course she was. She was getting accused of hacking someone's fucking bank account. Her reaction
Literally. We're setting the scene here for excusing.
to that, her reaction to the fact that she was getting attacked by this YouTuber that she respected so much, about the fact that she was getting accused of things that she would never do. Of course, her reaction to that was,
How is this relevant to what you've done?
Like, honestly, like, this entire video, I was so confused as to what the point was, what they were trying to convey, because it did not make sense. It literally, they're just saying words.
Stop talking about Paige.
very agitated, and people very heavily weaponized that against her. And I
Again, obsessing on, for some reason, singling Paige out for her reactions to things. This is so weird.
was there to defend her when that happened, and I felt so strongly about the fact that she had the right to react to that in whatever fucking way she wanted to.
This is irrelevant context. Point blank period is.
And so when I said, you of all people should have known better, and
By the way, don't know if you're picking it up. You saying that you used to watch her videos, kind of, I'm forming an opinion of you, and the opinion is a incredibly parasocial ex-fan. That's really kind of what I'm seeing in your cards. And that's why it feels like you keep saying that you're owed, because you still feel like that viewer. Weird.
expressed so much disappointment over it. That was where that came from. It was from the fact that she's experienced what it's like to have your personality weaponized against you. To have people say, yeah, I guess you're kind of valid, but like also you're really angry and loud. So
What is the relevance to bringing this up right now?
Literally, I feel like every time I rewatch this video, it gets worse. And not only that, but I feel like I get more mad for Paige the more I watch this, because it's like, literally, what are we doing? What are we doing?
No.
well, that annoys me. I'm not going to listen to what you have to say. That was what I meant when I said, you of all people should know better, because this has happened to you. You know
I really disagree with that. I'm sorry.
what it's like to be discredited for having a very agitated reaction when you're not
And you're feeding into it. Monk. Like, what are you doing?
a white man on the internet, because they get to have really loud, agitated, intense reactions to things, and nobody says anything. Nobody says, oh, he's cringe. Oh, this is hard to watch. Oh, this is difficult to look at. Like, this is what people say about women who have really agitated reactions online. However,
What are you talking about? Women who have really agitated opinions online. You're even still being blank with these blanket terms that are still, like, kind of feel problematic as well.
and the issue with the way that I express myself is in the fact that black women in particular are often held to a much higher moral standard. There's this idea
They
that
are.
they should be
It's not often. They literally are. Provably are.
paragons of morality that the rest of us should expect good behavior from. And so in saying you,
What?
of all people, should have known better, I perpetuated that. And I remember in the
Are you hearing what you're saying? You're contradicting yourself so much.
moment when I filmed that, feeling like there was something a little bit
Truthfully.
about the way that I
6'7".
feeling like there was something a little bit
6'7".
about the way that I expressed myself there. Like I remember even in the moment being like, I feel like there's something finicky, but I
In the moment, you felt that there was an issue with it, but don't worry, you still included it. This is bullshit. Oh my god. And I cannot believe you have the fucking attitude that you can call it any other people. It is fucking crazy. Isn't it? This is your apology too. Like, legitimate shit.
thought about it and I was struggling to verbalize in my mind why I felt a little bit insecure about that phrasing. And because I couldn't explain it
You felt so insecure about your phrasing, but you kept it in the video. They do kind of give Dream fan.
to myself, I thought that it was okay. And I moved forward with it and I thought that people would understand what I meant to say with it. If you're a
So you're supposed to be understood.
follower of mine, and I doubt that you are because I have like 3 followers, nobody really watches my videos.
And the fact that they're kind of asking, in a sense, for grace, which, granted, I think everybody should be giving grace. Everybody should have and be able to take responsibility for their own actions, their own words. But they weren't trying to give Adam that same grace. They weren't even trying to give Paige Christie the same grace when she made a facial expression, which, by the way, I'm going to continue saying this, within context, Paige was just confused. That's why she made that facial expression. And they still don't even mention that. They still don't clear that up. They still don't even bring that fact up. Did they even watch Paige's video? No, either video, truthfully. The original one or the one she just put up?
Lil Omi. Lil Omi. Lil Omi.
But if you are, you'll know that I posted a video titled, They Knew It Would Hurt You. And in that video, I talk really heavily about the difference between action and intent. How if you go up to somebody and you said, you did something that hurt me, if the conversation begins and ends with them saying, well, that's not what I meant, then all they've done is defend their reputation. They're not showing any care for you and the ways that they've hurt you. And if you're a victim of microaggressions every single day, where people constantly expect you to know better because you're a black woman being held to a higher moral standard, having that really careless phrasing thrown at you is hurtful. It's triggering. And the harm goes far beyond what I meant. The harm is in the way that I said it because
I'm like, okay.
And that blog or video that they're mentioning, by the way, Evangelina did a great section in her video where she reviewed that blog that they put up, because I think it was a video and then they also did a blog post or article about it, and they absolutely were contradicting themselves even within the own article.
I'm like, okay, what? Literally, that's like, right. You're saying all this, and that's literally my reaction. Right.
Wait,
Oh my god.
that was genuinely my reaction because I was so confused as to what was going on. I was just like in the room like, am I hearing this right? Like, what is the point of this? What are we trying to say? Where is the apology? Is the apology in the room with us?
Odd.
first of all, the way that would trigger a black woman to hear, but secondly, in the way that
Oh, we're
somebody who doesn't know what I
doubling down.
meant by it, who is a racist themselves, can see me saying what I said and take it and throw it at Paige in the racist way that it can be interpreted. Now, would I have
In the racist way it can be interpreted is crazy. There's no fucking comma after and brackets that it can be interpreted. No, you do not get to decide racist if it's interpreted. That's unbelievable. You really, over people and not over racism, it's what you dictate. It's what you decide. Fuck me. I honestly cannot believe that this was called apologizing for my racism.
apologized like this if I didn't get so much backlash? Truthfully, I don't know.
A lot of people in apology videos will say things like this to try like win people over. Like, would I have apologized if I wasn't caught? Probably not. So thank you for catching me. But I'm so used to people doing that now that I'm like, that's so stupid.
I don't know if I would have.
And again, they doubled down multiple times. And it wasn't until they received so much hate that they finally made this apology video. and then deleted their channel completely. So that is weird behavior.
And that's
Also, like, a really stupid thing to admit. You should literally be, like, persuading people that it was your reason to apologize. Not, would I apologize if I didn't have to? No. Maybe not include that one in the apology.
I'm ashamed to admit that. That's a bit of a shameful realization for me that I probably wouldn't have. I
You do not need to say all this.
probably wouldn't have apologized if I didn't get
It makes you look even worse about your day-to-day actions.
so much backlash, if Paige didn't have the audience that she has. And that's
That is so fucked up. To insinuate that the problem is the fact that she has this big audience and she talked about it. That is so fucked up. I see exactly what you're doing. You're putting blame on the page for showing you to her audience. That is so fucked up.
made me reflect a lot on the ways that, I'll see somebody online doing something really racist. And every single time I'll view myself as so
Oh my god. I was not expecting that.
separated from those people. Like, I'll judge them for being racist, but it doesn't get me thinking about the ways in which I can still be racist.
I'm so confused.
Me too.
I'm so confused. I'm like, you've done a great job at confusing the fuck out of me. I'm starting to forget where I am. I'm starting to forget.
I'm sorry. I thought I was stupid for a second the first time I watched this. I was like, what? Like, I'm so glad it's not me.
Where I am.
Them doing blatantly racist things, getting canceled for it, and I view myself as above them, as above racism in that way. And I'm realizing,
What are you talking about? What does that mean? Get off live. Spence, get off live. I'm really trying to understand what your perspective would be in what you're trying to say, but I truly cannot even understand what you're saying and how it's relevant or what your argument. Like, I'm like, are you saying this as a defense of yourself, or are you saying this as like putting yourself down, or the self-importance is insane, literally.
that I'm not. I really am not. Every time I watch somebody being racist online, instead of sitting there going, oh, haha, you're racist, I'm not. I should have sat there and gone, I should think about what that means for me. I should.
What? What? If I see someone online being racist, I should think what that means to me. What? It literally is like, how can I make this about me? But it also, like, doesn't make sense.
I mean, is it a stretch that they're clearly putting themselves in the same room as, like, a racist? Like, they're classifying themselves. I don't know. Like, clearly, I don't know.
What did you say there? What was that?
Should think about what that means. Racist, I'm not. I should have sat there and gone, I should think about what that means for me. I should think about how I can do better. And I don't do that.
Like, if you're doing rankings and you're above them, that means that you're in the same category.
I look at people being racist and I view myself as above them, but I don't spend that time thinking about how I can do better.
Whatever the hell that
And
means.
admittedly, my initial reaction to getting the backlash from Paige was to be defensive. In fact, I edited my pinned comment on my video and in a very aggressive way where I say, no, here's what I meant. I stand by it.
So, oh yeah, you're admitting here that you doubled down again. Oh, but now you're allowed to be aggressive. Remember when you were attacking me for being aggressive? Remember when you implied that Paige was aggressive? Oh, but you just get to be oh my god.
I don't regret it. And that's what happened.
You don't regret it? Dude, this is an apology video. And you're saying that you don't regret what you're supposed to be apologizing for in the video.
Is he aware that it's an apology video? Sorry. My internet is so slow.
I've never seen something like this before.
Depends when you react. Before you think. And where that came from is...
Always including laughter in your apology video will always go down.
Somebody commented, they're only trying to be only 5% racist. Oh.
A treat. People will always love if you break out into laughter in your apology video.
It's sometimes difficult when you had an intent with something and you caused harm in a way that you couldn't have even conceived you would have caused harm.
Because you only think about yourself, clearly.
And harm can come unintentionally. We can harm people unintentionally because of preconceived racism that we have in us. Because what racism can look like sometimes is not just, I'm going to maliciously attack you in a racist way. Racism can come in the form of ignorance as well, of not knowing that certain phrases, certain words are...
Why are you trying to educate all of us about, like, just to let us know if we're ever racist down the line, you know what I mean? We're talking about you here. Why are you talking about the manifestation of when it might pop up? This is about you.
are harmful and triggering.
I'm sorry, but Adam is so done. Like, he's over.
And shitty to say. Not knowing in itself can be racism and is racism. And so in the moment, all I could focus on was what I hadn't intended to do. All I could focus on was, all I could focus on was the fact that I meant something else. But that doesn't mean that what I said wasn't racist. It doesn't.
I cannot believe that you just said, I don't take it back, or whatever the fuck you just said, and now you're going back into the apology mode. The title of this video should be Here Damn. I'm a little bit lost, I'm gonna be honest. A little bit lost, if I'm honest.
And I am regretful that I wouldn't have apologized if I didn't get so much backlash. That's something for me to genuinely reflect on.
Don't say that. Don't say that. Don't say that you're apologizing for racism because you got backlash. Don't say that.
It is a shameful thing to realize. It really is.
Sorry for nervous laughing. Damn, a refilm, you know. We don't, the first take's not always perfect. Let's film take 2. And that shows a level of disrespect as well, that you just, this video is so strange.
Especially because I know that my own audience holds me to a high moral standard. It's hard when you're personally involved with people.
Who are you involved with? Not me, not Paige. Are you involved with Jen? Is that you admitting that you're personally involved with Jen?
That's what I've been saying. I think that they're really friends, or I don't know.
Oh, okay, it all makes sense, right? Of course. You involved
Something's going on. Where is Cody Tyler?
with Cody too? It's hard when you're personally involved. Security, who's this? What do you mean?
I feel for Jen on such a genuinely personal level.
Genuinely.
And seeing somebody
Yeah, made sense.
and seeing somebody be so shaken the way that Jen was shaken by Paige's video,
Oh my god.
and understanding so well
By the 10 seconds of Paige's video, shaken. Shaken. Like a Polaroid picture. Jen Dent was. Wrap it up. Wrap it up. We need to wrap it up. Let's start being more serious, please.
how irresponsible that video was, and I stand
It wasn't Please.
by the fact that Paige's video was irresponsible.
Oh my god, this is not what I expected it to be at all. Paige's video was so normal. Like all of our videos. You're just choosing to have an issue.
Yeah, she criticizes Adam in it, but she also perpetuates really harmful things about.
And Paige's video, by the way, was honestly, in my opinion, extremely nice. She was so neutral the entire time, even whenever she made her video saying how hurt she was about Spence's actions and words. She was still being so nice. Let's not forget that.
Jen,
What is your issue?
and that caused real harm to a real person.
Okay, let's hear from Jen then, not you.
And it was
Are you gonna cry? I'm ending this video if you cry.
hard for me. And it was hard for me to maintain my
Oh, jump cut. Collecting ourselves.
ethical compass in front of me in the way that I normally
Ethical compass led you to make that video. Ethical compass. We just need to be more serious, y'all.
do with my other videos, where I edit and re-edit and re-edit and re-edit every single thing that I write to make sure that it doesn't cause harm to anybody. And I didn't do that here. I just spoke.
Well, you didn't do your hard work, Nat. You called me lazy, I call you lazy.
And it does say a lot that when I speak without editing, what comes out of my mouth is something racist. It's not funny. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be laughing. Am I afraid of my income
I thought he was gonna spit his water out.
being impacted? Yes.
Did you hear that? Oh my god, did you hear that? What the fuck?
And it does say a lot that when I speak without editing, what comes out of my mouth is something racist.
Oh wow, this is weird.
I'm telling you, it just gets worse the more you watch it, the more you actually end up noticing different things that they're saying. It just gets worse.
This is weird. This is really weird. God, all these people are strange. And then immediately to laugh, and immediately to jump into talking about your income being affected by this, which you just admitted when you talk, of course you're going to say something racist. Oh my god, we need to bring back shame. Bring back shame. Self-report. This is insane.
It's not funny. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be laughing.
Oh my. This is crazier than I thought it was going to be.
Am I afraid of my income being impacted?
Saying this in an apology video about the topic is crazy.
Yes, of course I am. I'm terrified that this is going to destroy my YouTube career before it even started, because it... I don't want to... I'm not going to... You guys know, if you're my viewers, you know what I need this income for. I'm not going to say it here because it sounds like...
And the fact that they were talking about it for a good minute too. More weird behavior.
Guilt tripping. I'm not trying to do that.
Where is the relevance? Why are you? This is unbelievable. I've never, in an apology video, had someone be like, am I upset about my income's going to be affected because of this? I've really never seen anything like it. You know what? Yeah, the tomatoes. Can we actually, just for a moment, give me some fucking tomatoes in here? Because that is a crazy statement. In a video called Apologizing for My Racism, you're talking about, are you so upset about how this is going to affect your income? Well, of course, time and place. Time and fucking place. This video is somehow worse than what I could have imagined.
You don't have to feel sorry for me.
I don't.
That's not my intention. I'm trying to say that I know that this apology could seem...
Wait, did you apologize? I don't remember you apologizing. Wait, maybe I'm going crazy. There was literally no apology, right?
In my opinion, I don't know who he's talking to. I don't know if he's talking to Paige at this point. He's talking to his audience, to himself, because he's talking about his own income. Who are we talking to? What are we doing?
If anything, you doubled down and said that you don't take back what you did. I fucking hate someone who will literally say that they're taking accountability and then never take it. Or, you know, I've already apologized, but you haven't. Like, you can't just say that you've done these things.
Dishonest or not genuine, because of course there are factors like my income being impacted, my channel YouTube career ending before it even started.
Why are you bringing this up?
Of course those are factors. Of course they are.
To doing an apology for racism? If you want that YouTube channel you speak of, don't speak like this.
Doesn't change the fact that I do know what I did. And I do acknowledge that it was a shitty thing to do. And I felt in the moment when I recorded it that there was something weird about the way that I phrased myself. But I didn't trust my gut. I didn't question it, and I should have. I should have questioned it because I should have known better. I should have known better.
Why are you laughing? This is a pretty strange video, I'm gonna be honest. Pretty strange video.
As far as Adam goes, I am not sorry to Adam. I stand by every...
Mind you, they say that with a smile. Once again.
Okay, of course, back to Adam in your apology video. What is your deal? Oh my god, why am I in it? Who the fuck are you? Oh my god.
The thing that I've said about Adam, his video about Jen was really shitty.
Well, you know what, motherfucker?
Adam is so over it. You can tell.
You're so weird. Oh my god. Thank god you're gone. I can only imagine the amount of fucking constant surveillance I'll have if you're still here. And I know you'll be back in a couple days. This is fucking rough.
His audience is out to get me, and that's...
Who are you? You care deeply about yourself. Gun to my head. Show me a photo of 10 people who look like you. I probably couldn't pick you out of it. You don't matter to us.
I am sorry to this man. If he was walking down the street, I would not know who this man is. Do y'all know that meme?
Oh my god.
That's okay. I'm not gonna boohoo wah wah about
It looks like you are. It literally looks like you are.
Adam's audience coming at me because I knew that would happen when I made that video, right? You don't make a video attacking two really major YouTubers with really large fan bases.
What?
Evangeline made a great point right here. I did watch her video. They said attack. So they admitted to attacking Adam and Paige.
Did I hear that right?
Go give Evangelina some love.
Did I hear that right? What? did he just call y'all fat? Where's the relevance? What is going on here?
Adam's audience coming at me because I knew that would happen when I made that video, right? You don't make a video attacking two really major YouTubers with really fat...
Oh my god. Get off live. Get off live.
with really large fan bases.
You got it. A little bit of editing would go wonderfully in this video. Oh my god.
Why
Adam cannot take this video seriously at all. And I love it. I love it.
This is why I cut my...
Wait, there's other jump cuts in this video. Why aren't you removing this?
God, I can't fucking talk today.
Oh my god, editing. There's jump cuts in this video already. Why
There were so many parts that they could have just cut out completely.
can't we have some clean editing at the end of this video? Come on, sharpen this video up a little bit.
This is why I cut my sentences. You'll see in my YouTube videos that I cut my sentences in a weird way and I like Frankenstein them together. This is why I really stumble through my words. But you don't film a video attacking
I don't think you say enough words, actually. I don't understand what your point is here.
two people with tremendously large viewerships and fan base.
Ooh, tremendously large viewerships. I like the sound of that. I like the sound of that, actually. They've never seen people with such tremendously big.
Is not knowing that they're going to come after you. I expected that, so I'm not going to feel sorry for myself with that. Of course, I'm not going to expect them not to have something to say about it. Of course they...
Literally, me and the Sixth Spence are literally Madonna and Sabrina. I'm like, the Sixth Spence, and Sixth Spence like, Adam, I got something I want to talk about.
will.
You fucking wish.
And they have that right. I don't think saying, well, I'm small.
I don't get that reference. Somebody please explain. I don't know the lore behind that.
I don't think I've seen some people saying, well, Spencer's a small creator. I hope Adam doesn't come after them. I
Spencer, Adam, you got something you want to talk about.
don't think that's a fair thing to say. If I attack Adam, he has the right to respond. If I attack him publicly, he has the right to respond publicly. So I have no beef with him for responding to me, but I'm not sorry for what I said. Adam,
All right. Time casts its spell on you, but you won't forget me. Will the landslide bring us down? Well, I've been changing.
you need to take better responsibility with your channel. I stand by that. I believe in that.
I'm not going to take advice from someone who deleted their channel. Oh my.
That being said, guys, my mistake with Paige,
10 consulates for you.
unfortunately, now is really taking away from the support that I was seeking to send Jen's way. And that
Oh my god, can
Jen. Still talking about Jen.
you just fucking apologize to Paige? Oh my god.
is my fault. Completely my fault. And I have so many regrets around the fact that I did that, not just to Paige,
Can you just say, sorry, Jesus.
not just to me, but I've done that to Jen.
Not just to you. Are you apologizing to yourself? You just said what I've done to Paige, what I've done to myself, what I've done. I have never seen someone apologize to themselves in an apology video.
As well. And so in light of that, of course I will be removing the section of the video where I tell Paige that she should have known better. But I am leaving the other sections of my critique towards Paige because I do stand by those.
Somebody said, what is a TLDR? Oh my goodness. At this point, there is none. There's a lot going on. I'm not gonna lie to you. You're gonna have to catch up. But right now, the Sixth Spence is giving an apology to Paige. And it's a horrible apology. It's not even an apology. We can't even call it that. And Adam is not getting an apology according to this video. But now the Sixth Spence has deleted their video, so.
Sorry, you're just saying, I'll cut around the racism, but everything I'm saying is fine. Oh my lord. Oh my lord. It's fucking unbelievable.
I do. I think that video was a shitty thing to do. That being said, I am sorry. I really am. I'm sorry to Paige for making you sit through a microaggression. I'm sorry to my audience for disappointing you.
We get it, I'm sorry, the last 20 seconds. What the fuck?
I'm sorry to Jen for...
Why is Jen receiving more apologies in this video that's supposed to be apologizing to Paige Christie? And then they specifically mentioned that they're not going to apologize to Adam. Okay, then why mention it? Like, what?
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, and now we have a heartfelt apology for Jen. I honestly don't understand what is going on.
taking away from the support that you were supposed to receive because of my fuck up. I'm sorry to a lot of people. And I'm sorry to myself for letting myself down in this way.
And most importantly, I'm sorry to myself for letting myself down. I think that tells us everything we need to know. This was significantly worse. I love Anna as random. That was significantly worse than what I envisioned it to be. I cannot believe.
Truthfully, if you've watched that apology video once, watch it again. It gets worse the more times you see it. I've watched it a couple times now. I am more mad than the first time I ever watched it. I'll tell you that much.
Believe that the word sorry was uttered within the last 20 seconds. I cannot believe how much you still were attacking Paige. And how much you're just glazing the fuck out of Jen. What's in this for you? Well, you did say that you're personally involved. I would argue that you are 10 times more irresponsible with your platform than what you accuse me of. So if that's your channel done, then I guess that's your channel done. I'm glad you died on the hill with your channel of harassing Paige and coming after me in defense of lifting up almighty Jen Dent.
Yeah, but glazing Jen. Mind you, again, Jen has been harassing Adam. And honestly, they've been saying pretty horrible things about other people too. Evangelina did a great video, greatest video of that Google Doc that is out there that kind of just blacklist everything Jen has said publicly. All horrible things.
Dent. Who is Jen Dent? You know what I mean? Like, who are any of you people? Now, I will leave it there for now. I was only going to watch this with you guys, so thank God you guys were here. Let me know your thoughts, YouTube people, down below. I will talk to you later. And the channel will be back very soon, I promise you that. They will be back very soon.
Do I really think they're gonna be back? I don't know. I feel like maybe not. I don't know. But truthfully, like I mentioned, I'm more disturbed the more I keep watching that video. So I'm never gonna watch it again. Horrible video. That is not an apology. If anything, Paige deserves a proper apology for all of this. Paige deserves better. And why is Adam getting dragged into this? Why is Paige even getting dragged into this? I don't understand. I'm more confused than ever as to what's going on, but there's definitely something going on. And yeah, hopefully we figure out what that is, or if we don't, then I hope that's because they're calmed and they're not harassing anybody, not going after any of the muckers, and not fat shaming with, what was her name, Alyssa? That's all I have to say. And we're gonna leave it there. Thank you so much for watching, and oh my gosh, thank you to everybody that has been leaving comments. Y'all have been so sweet. I can't believe y'all are actually watching my videos. I truly love all the support, so thank you so much, and yeah, I hope you have a good day. Dang, YouTube, we have a lot of people. Not a lot, not a whole lot, but a lot for me. Watching. How are we feeling? Sorry, I want to eat. Sorry. Okay. Next, we're gonna watch this Jen Dent video. Because apparently she's not stopping. If anything, she's just getting started apparently. Give me 2 seconds. Alright. Hi guys, welcome back. We're going to be watching Adam's new video, letting us know that Jen Dent is not stopping. If anything, I guess she's just getting started. She does not care. Let's see what he has to say. And I did watch this already, but honestly I don't have any recollection as to what he says as of yet, so I've watched so many videos today.
Off the deep end with Jen Dent, but it's so far beyond that point. So I was like, I'm not gonna make another video about Jen. I feel that everything that needed to be said was said, and I also just want to say thank you. Oh my God, thank you to. I'm not saying that everyone who watched the video, you know, agreed with me or supported me, but the support that I felt after posting that video, thank you so much, because I have waited to make that video because it felt like Jen's harassment and true like passionate hate was never gonna stop towards me, and
by the way, even on my own video, and mind you, I'm nobody. I'm nobody. But in the videos I've been making about this topic, people have been saying that they're so glad Adam made that initial video because they had no idea of what was going on. And frankly, I didn't either. I had no idea that she was doing this. So, I would have never known, probably.
I mean, this Google Doc that was created and the person who created it came forward as well. And thank you so much to you as well. You're huge. I mean, you're the reason that people were able to see very plainly laid out what Jen was doing to me and other people. And so I thank you as well. But anyways, I was like, I'm not going to respond anymore. I didn't know what Jen was going to do after the video. Because keep in mind, Paige Christie had also just made a video on Spence's video, which Jen Dent was like interviewed for like 3 hours and promoted the hell out of. Now, me and Paige were not working in tandem, like, to post videos at the same time. It truly was a fucking coincidence. But this was obviously very bad for Jen. She was finally getting called out, and the Spence was finally getting called out. And I didn't know how they were going to handle it. The thing was, Jen did not what I expected her to do. She decided to fight every single person who would respond, critiquing her, even nice ones, right? Even fucking nice people. And she was doubling down. She started tweeting.
I mean, you have to respect the dedication. And again, I'm going to give you a little TLDR in regards to that. For sure, let's not forget. Jen was calling the muckers, or saying, I think, like, I quote, muckers wear helmets, or something along those lines. Again, horrible thing to say. Using a derogatory term against the muckers. Fast shaming Alyssa. Shaming Alyssa for getting a GED rather than, graduating high school? Why, I don't know. Doubling down after Adam's initial video, as he is just now describing, she also made comments about victim blaming Adam's initial situation with Colleen. Okay. And it honestly just gets worse. So if you want to read throughout that entire Google Doc, truthfully, I've said this before, I watched Evangelina's video, and she went through the entire thing. She did such a good job detailing every little thing that was in there, and it was all horrible things that Jen has said, and truthfully just has been spewing out to literally anybody that is saying anything, I guess, about her.
Tweeting out pictures of helmets, right? And she was like, oh, who cares about the helmets? Remember when she was making disabled jokes? Like disabled jokes about you guys, disabled jokes about me, the community. Doubled down on it. Probably the biggest issue that people had. Starts posting all these photos of helmets and doubling down, and then people are like, this is so disrespectful, and Jen's fighting back with them. It seemed that like for 3-4 days, however.
And I think even afterwards, at some point, I don't even know in what context it was, but people were calling out Jen for saying all these things, and Jen was like, when did I say that? I didn't say that. And people would link the Google Doc to reference what she was saying, because it has all the information of everything she has been saying, and she literally commented back, I'm not reading that entire thing.
However long it's been since that video was, I think it's been like 3 days, right? Yeah, 3 days. Jen was nonstop on social media. Also with Hello Leech as well. You know, these people like, well, except Hello Leech now is deciding to, you know, take a step back, and she was never involved in the first place, of course, because everyone around her is falling because they are evil. And it's like, Jen did all that, right? And her initial response on social media was posting this, and obviously FOH stands.
I saw that. I had no idea what the caption meant. I had no idea what the picture meant. So I was confused.
For fuck out of here. I still got it. And posted Joffrey, obviously implying that to be me. Now, I had to look up the meaning of this because I don't know who Joffrey is. And then I looked up and see that this is, of course, King Joffrey from Game of Thrones. And so, obviously, she has posted that with, fuck out of here, LMAO. That was her immediate response, right? That was her immediate response to all these people who were deeply offended by what she was saying, or deeply personally, fucking hands up if you were personally, you know, victimized by Jen Dent. Obviously, I looked up online that said that Joffrey is very spoiled, he's bratty, he's obsessed with power and status, and he's entitled and all like this. And so, obviously, she's making this joke that this is Adam, you know, little old Adam. And I was like, okay, that's so strange that that is your immediate response. I was like, you're just like, so, like, you're very weird, like, it's very weird behavior. Now, everyone was obviously calling Jen out in the comments. I mean, this got 657 comments. 657 comments is crazy. Is crazy, right? Like, this is more engagement than Jen has ever gotten before. And it's very similar, dare I say it, to the crash out that we also saw on YouTube community maybe a month ago with Joshua David Evans. When
And mind you, I do not think Adam is bratty. I think that he is definitely a little bit unserious in the type of commentary he is giving in the most recent videos. But again, he just mentioned Joshua David Evans. Of course, he's over it. There has been thing after thing, just people coming after him. And I would be over it too. I'm not gonna lie. He's so unserious because it's like, what are we doing? The entire thing is unserious. They're turning something into, like, out of nothing. It's just out of nothing. And they're making it a big deal. Like, and it was all meant to be, again, about Gabby Hanna.
Joshua David Evans was, you know, posting that big think piece. And then everyone was calling him out. Now, all the criticism and critique here is, you know, all very valid. Now, I saw this, which is a person called Prince, who we'll talk about in a second, but Prince was very predominant in the Gabby Hanna fandom and someone who very much so trusted Jen and has been a part of that orbit, you know, in Jen calling Gabby out and I guess calling me out. And this person has now came forward with, you know, a statement denouncing Jen. And it's crazy because it's like everyone is now like, oh, we can actually see her behavior for what it was. And it's not right. And again, I'm very grateful and glad that people are seeing this now because I truly didn't think it was fair. Not that I'm looking at myself as a victim, because these people, all of them have this weird thing of like trying to act like I hide behind victimhood or I want to be the biggest victim or whatever. And I'll tell you fucking something, that in this situation that I find out that there are people within this space who do not want me here and they work together at specific time periods with specific topics to try take me down and orchestrate a hate campaign against me. This is stuff that I was factually told within the last couple weeks in regards to Jen.
I want to know the tea. Like, what are we talking about? What is this?
And I'm like, oh my God, you people keep doing this to me, knowing that you're in the wrong. And then the same trajectory ends up happening because you know what happened with Joshua David Evans? He was so evil and so harassing towards me, towards Gavin. It was unbelievable. And he got so cocky, right? He got the backlash and he got so cocky. He could give it, but he couldn't take it. And then he deleted his social media. He got fired and he left social media. Now let's look.
These situations being like back to back is honestly a little bit crazy. And that's what I'm saying, like, is there something going on behind the scenes? Because I believe it, like how he is saying people are orchestrating hate campaigns against him. I believe it. Stuff is getting really weird, and people are trying to go against Adam for whatever reason about absolutely nothing. And the markers are like, hold on. No, like, Adam hasn't done anything wrong. Why are we trying to take him down? For what? For what? Like, what has he done? He has done nothing. And it's thing after thing. I feel so bad, truthfully.
Look at Jen Dent. Jen Dent, for months now, has been harassing the fuck out of me and my audience. And actually, I've never dealt with this targeted before from anyone. Ever. She's been doing that nonstop, knowing that I wasn't responding so she could get away with it. She's also working with other people behind the scenes that they'll jump on this and make videos and it will take me down, which is when I then realize what is going on, which is why I didn't pander to Jen Dent in that moment, because I knew that ultimately one day I would be able to tell people, if she's doing all this day by day, let's wait a month and see how much damage she's done in a month. And that's exactly what happened. And God bless, someone else made a Google Doc. I didn't even have to do it. And what happened after I posted my video, like Joshua David Evans, Jen Dent starts fighting people on social media, acting like she's unbothered, and then what happens? Jen Dent deletes her Twitter, and then Jen Dent deletes every video that she's ever made. Why does this keep happening? Why does this keep happening?
I feel so bad for Adam. Why? Why can't he just have a summer off? Just a chill summer.
The exact same shit. Hashtag solidarity with Spence. She deleted it because, and then Spence deleted their channel too. It's unbelievable the like whiplash I have felt since fucking Joshua David Evans in summer. Because it's like, these people attack me or try to expose me or just fucking harassing me, but people are loving it because people are loving it. And then it's like everyone is getting turned against me. I can't respond apologizing or defending myself because they've already made their narrative up, because it's being ran by people in this space, by the way, but I'll not name names. But then me and you guys will take it, and we'll move on, like we did with Jen, like we did with Josh, and then we'll finally be like, we need to respond. And then we'll respond, and these people like delete their social media presences, run, quit their jobs, or like actively get fired by then fighting back with us. It's like, what's going on?
People in my comments, I think I mentioned that Jen had quit her job, and people in my comments were speculating, allegedly, that she probably got fired, which, I mean, I don't know. She seemed to be going through it. Like, there's definitely something going on there. So I wouldn't put it past her that she actually quit her job. But honestly, it's a possibility. Maybe she did get fired. Allegedly. I don't know. This is all speculation. What do you think? Let me know.
It really is. It's absolutely crazy. Like, I don't know how it keeps happening. So anyways, the only posts that remain from Jen are her YouTube posts on her community. And under this one of her, obviously her response making fun of me, and she's getting absolutely ripped apart in this, we have Prince, who's responded to it. Now, as I got from Reddit, here is a summary, because I'm, again, heaven forbid, like Alyssa, if you don't know who all of these people are and all of their inner workings, you're doing some sort of campaign against Jen or whatever. No. So anyways, I'm literally directly quoting who Prince is in this situation here, so that there's no miscommunication here. it started from Harry Daniels. Oh my God, you're right. And then
Mm-hmm.
Rachel, I don't understand it. Well, we see how fucking stupid it is.
I think so much has happened that he low-key forgot about Harry Daniels, and that's what started it all.
I guess, whatever. So here's from Reddit. Gracie isn't the only ex-fan who spoke up against Gabby Hanna. Prince, in the comments, who was also a former Gabby Hanna fan, also spoke out. Prince speaks out. Prince, who was very young at the time, commented on the video, and by young, I mean they're currently 17. Some of the things he mentioned was Gabby is very manipulative. She normalized behavior that he regrets and says what Gabby has done to herself could have been avoided. So, Prince is obviously an ex-Gabby Hanna fan who was in the fandom and the stand-up and stuff, and looked to Jen and supported Jen a lot over this last couple months because Jen has been, a safe person for these Gabby Hanna fans. She has. Have I felt that her intentions are selfish? Absolutely. Do I think that she should be communicating with these people? Not really at all. But let's, again, preface, I don't want to get an age wrong here. Heaven forbid, another Alyssa situation. Alyssa, girl, you look very young. But, if Prince is 17 looking up to someone who, Jen Dent to this person, without sounding condescending, I don't mean it at all, because I've been there as well, is, this person is the one who can give you that validation. This is the person who can see you. This is the person that can uplift you. And so anyways, Prince has now responded to Jen's post after her video, after my video and her video, and I want to read it to you. This is Prince. I trusted you, and now I have to sit with the fact that I've been once again manipulated by someone who said they were doing the right thing. You don't care about the people that Gabby's hurt. You just wanted to get validation from the internet. And when you got that validation, it still wasn't enough. You claim to want Gabby offline, we all do, but then subject your misplaced anger towards everyone else and making them your punching bag in replacement of Gabby. Now again, if this person is 17 years old, that is so fucking well written. It'd be well written if I read it. Again, I'm never saying anything about you being 17, but you're very young, and I think that when I say that can sound like it's condescending, but I mean that in like an uplifting way for you, that like I want to protect you more, you know what I mean, if that makes sense? The only person that has hurt you is Gabby. You've given her exactly what she's wanted from the very start. For channels to speak about you in disgust, for you to embarrass yourself, and ruin the platform you've gained over the years. She stooped so low just to get that from you, and you're so vengeful and blinded by your own unhappiness that you're willingly doing so. No one will ever take my story or any ex-stan story into consideration now because of you. Whew.
Somebody said that if the losing the job is related to the racism and the fat shaming, then they had assumed it was to pursue YouTube, but they get what happened now. Truthfully, again, allegedly, I think that there is a possibility that maybe, the Google Doc was maybe shared around. Or I honestly think it's a possibility that she might have quit her job, because I did watch that YouTube video where she titled it that she quit her job or anything, and she has been kind of just screaming. Like even that initial couple videos where she made the whole Gabby Hanna thing, and then even afterwards when she was, calling out Adam for how he handled the situation, she was a little hysterical. I'm not sure if that would be the right word, but you could tell that she was going through something. And even in that video where she posted that she did quit her job, there's just, you could tell there was something going on, unfortunately. And I felt bad because I hope she's okay, and I hope that everything is okay, but clearly things just kept spiraling because she kept doubling down and going after people after everything started to come out about this Google Doc, and she was defending herself for the things that she said. So I don't know. Again, this is all speculation. Allegedly.
I'm not saying Gabby is going to get away with how she treated you, but you've lost all credibility in so many people's eyes. The ableism helmet remark is deeply disgusting too. And the way you speak about people in general is just as vile and appalling, especially when your background is a nurse. How would you feel if someone spoke about Jesse's son like that? It's horrible. I know you have so much time on your hands now that you've quit your job, clock. But I wish you had genuine people to tell you to stop and reflect on what you're doing. You're grown, acting like a child. I'm 18. 18? Oh my God. Handling the Gabby Hanna situation much better than you. It's a crazy line. That is a crazy line. I mean, it's true, but it's a crazy line. I'm so frustrated for all of these kids who go through this and then in their really early adult years are expected to have more grace than people who are 10, 20 years, 30 years their senior. Adam is barely in his 20s and he's handling the situation far better than you. Oh. Thank you, Prince. Thank you, Prince. He shouldn't have to. That's the thing with you and Gabby. You two only want people to view things with the perspective that you two spread to the listener. And if they don't, or they don't know all the history and background, they get harassed, and sent hate mobs, and then subjected to you guys acting like you're too wise, perfect to give an apology. Yup. I'm disgusted because I expected this from Gabby, not you, Jen. Oof. Prince, let me tell you something. Sir, you are incredibly well-spoken. Like, incredibly well-spoken. And that doesn't come by a lot these days. Speaking about myself as well, you should look at how I tweet or comment on things. So you're a credit to yourself. You're very well-spoken. I've had my experiences with Alyssa. Oh my god, this fucking name. And I do believe Alyssa should take accountability for several things. But to say they're just as bad as Gabby while you're happily friends with Cody... Ooh, Cody Tyler is always at the scene of the crime. Oh.
And I want to know more about that. Like, what's going on with Cody Tyler? Like, how are they friends? Like, why are they friends? What is going on? Like, I wish we could know more about this whole friendship. Yeah.
Always. Trust. Cody Tyler will be there. Wow, this is such a great point. Stop calling Alyssa these things if you're best friends with Cody. It is such a great point. I've seen a lot of people make the argument, and I'm like, wow, this is such a beautiful... I'm like, this is so wonderful. I'm like, people get it. People get it. People see Cody for who she is. You know what I mean? When you're happily friends with Cody, who's worse, clock it, is astonishing. People have informed you about this since the day you posted your initial video about Alyssa, and Cody was in Alyssa's comments. You intentionally ignored everyone, true. And now you're boasting on Twitter. Well, not anymore. The Twitter is deleted. And Twitter is saying thank you. Oh my. Even Twitter is saying thank you. You're boasting about the fact on Twitter that you've been friends with Cody since 2019. You don't care about Cody's behavior because you're not being subjected to it. Prince, you're clocking. Prince, you're clocking. I know an ex-stan who is able to drag someone. I see it in you. I like it. That's very telling. If Alyssa was writing sexual fanfiction about you, like Cody did, to their own admission, with the names of minors, let's not forget that, by the way, I highly doubt you would be okay with it.
These are all horrible, horrible, horrible people. And mind you, they're all friends, which makes absolute sense.
There is no false narrative being spread about you. This, again, is just so unbelievably well written. The Google Doc shown in Adam's video is filled with your own words, which, by the way, Jen spent 3 days on Twitter being like, show me where I said that, show me where I said that, and people would send the Google Doc, and she goes, I'm not reading all that. Crazy. If you don't want to be held accountable, don't create avoidable situations. Ooh, just to act dense when called out. Oh, because who? Jen Dense. Jen Dense. It's not hard. You're not different from Gabby, and I'm appalled that you've spent so much time trying to make yourself look like a saint in your recent videos while you're simultaneously saying ableist things on Twitter. You evidently are the nightmare. Oh!
Facts.
Prince, you are taking the words out of my mouth. Oh my god. Oh my god, God bless you. If you're not going to own up to what you said and done, and do better going forward, just leave YouTube. You've shown who you really are. Oh, what is the response to this? I'm sorry that Jen has been yet another fully grown adult using you in this situation. And you honestly put tears in my eyes with how eloquently you're describing this experience. I wish you the best. You're very well spoken. Wow. So yeah, Jen, no more videos. The videos are gone. And the Twitter's gone. Let me just prove this to you.
That is insane. Like, why are these people just doubling? I mean, I guess it's who they are. Like, clearly they're showing their true colors, but it's just crazy that there's people like that.
This account doesn't exist. So just to confirm, Jen, oh my god. Jen's videos are gone. Jen's Twitter is gone. Spence's Instagram is gone. Spence's Twitter is gone. Spence's YouTube is gone. What are we doing? What are we doing? Can we be serious? Can we start being serious? I just am like, when... I cannot get over, again, a situation where someone is so loud and so horrific and then just deletes their shit. Come back here.
I think Adam was ready to just keep going. He's like, all right, let's go right now. What do you have to say?
Come back here. But it makes sense because who also did this? Who, I'm like a fucking oil, who also did this? Cody Tyler. Tell me who is friends with Jen Dent, who deleted, and Spence, who deleted. Cody Tyler. Guys, it didn't work for Cody. It's not going to work for you. You cannot exist on this platform and criticize people to the degree that you were obsessively doing it. And when you get criticism, delete your social media. Not only when you get criticism, but when you get a response. When you get a response. Clearly, this is not the space for you. It's crazy. Yeah, just call it calling a Cody. It's so embarrassing. Have some backbone. Nah. Well, anyways, I'll leave it there. Prince, shout out. Shout out to Prince. So well spoken, and again, he's only 18 years old. And again, underage when all this was going on. It just annoys me, like I said earlier, how much the younger ones in situations, even if they're not underage, are always expected to give more grace to those significantly older.
Truthfully, like, just because you're young does not mean that you're entitled or you should be the mature one. Like, sometimes I hate when people are in those type of situations where it's like the old one, the one that's supposed to know better, isn't the one that actually is being mature, and isn't the one that's actually taking accountability, and isn't the one actually acting like an adult. Point blank, period. And I feel like, unfortunately, Prince has been put in this situation, which is horrible. I don't really know much more beyond that, truthfully. I would love to look into it. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. I think that Jen definitely needs to look inward. I think Spence person needs to also look inward. Maybe be kind. Maybe be nicer. And, you know, don't harass people. Okay, cool. Alright, guys, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate everybody that's been leaving kind comments. I love interacting with each and every one of you. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. See you on the next one. YouTube, how are we doing? I feel like YouTube is the only place I actually get any comments during my live streams, so I appreciate it. Okay. That was fun. I feel like this has become like an Adam McIntyre channel, which I'm not mad at. I just genuinely love watching his videos, and I would watch them even if I wasn't on stream. So I've just been kind of watching them with you guys, and I've been enjoying it. So I really hope that you guys have been enjoying them too. And now we're gonna go ahead and talk about something a little bit different that isn't involving Adam McIntyre or Dent. And that's something new here, I think, lately, which is fine. Trisha Paytas recently talked about the whole Jools Lebron situation. And if you don't really know what's going on that side of the TikTok world, really, Jools is that person who went viral for saying demure. I mean, that went insanely viral. I think even Beyonce at some point, and I think Trisha even mentioned it here, Beyonce at some point in one of her concerts even said demure. I mean, truthfully, like, they made that word mainstream. And recently they went on their on their TikTok, and were asking for donations. They created a GoFundMe to be able to get, I think, their teeth fixed or get them replaced or something, because I think they're falling out. And I'm really interested to hear Trisha's take, because I think Trisha has a unique perspective, because this whole kind of conversation surrounds overspending and having money out of nowhere because of this influence and popularity that you might have. If you get to that point, like Jools, she became famous out of nowhere, and she was able to get all these sponsors and have money that she's never seen before. So how she utilized that money is a different story. But I think Trisha has a unique perspective in this conversation, so let's hear what she has to say about it.
I don't know, I guess because I said no shade, and now I keep saying it as if it's my vocal stem, and I feel like I need to give credit. So shout out Eddie, the former truck driver who now has an RV, but also a homeowner who has quit his job and didn't burn the bridge. He said he could go back if it doesn't work out for him as an influencer, that the boss was like, yeah, you should go and do it and monetize. So that's been the discussion. We don't have to go like too deep into it, but on my TikTok has been the discourse of influencers with regular jobs. Denisha Carter was talking about how she didn't quit her job. She was a Prada saleswoman for 3 years into her influencer life. And she was like, I kept that job. And then Eddie, too, he was like,
And the reason she's mentioning this is because Jools on her TikTok said that she's asking for donations because at this point she doesn't think that getting a regular job is going to help. That can be interpreted in many different ways. It could mean that, you know, a regular job isn't actually going to pay her $40,000 dentist thing going on, appointment, or surgery. Really, it's a surgery. And I mean, truthfully, I mean, I agree. I don't think a regular job is going to allow you to make that much whenever she needs it right then and there. Because, I mean, in this economy, that's all I have to say in regards to that. However, let's backtrack a little bit because we know Jools made a lot of money whenever this whole Demure thing started blowing up. So that also brings some nuances into the conversation. And yeah, I think a lot of people have a lot to say, so I'm interested to see what you think about it as well.
Kept the connection in case I need to go back, and they were talking about other influencers that were because a lot of influencers have jobs actually. My sister has a job; she has a real life job, and yeah, a lot of people still keep it. It's good security to have. It's good to have just in case. Also, some people just like it too. Like, you know, I think people always ask about your job, and it's like, Oscar likes his job. Like, I don't know. Like, people are like, hey, you should quit and come back. I'm like, he likes it. He wants to be there. Like, why am I going to be like, quit a job you love? Like, there's another one too who just got divorced. You remember everyone was shocked? Remember the one you told me that was married for 18 years and everyone was shocked? I think she's like a registered nurse or something, and they just got divorced. And she's like full-time nurse, but she has like 1 million followers. It's like...
Or more.
Yeah, she has a lot of followers because people were kind of shook that she was getting divorced. Yeah, people, it was the Jools Lebron. I don't have to go deep. I think I see both sides, so I don't have to get deep into it. But yeah, asking for help with her dental. And she said it was hard to get a job because she was a content creator. And that because...
Now that, honestly, I don't agree with that. I think you can still find a job. Like, if you interpret it in the sense that you don't think a job is going to help pay for like $40,000 surgery, I can perceive that as, you know, you're not gonna be able to make that amount of money in a couple of weeks to be able to get your surgery pretty quickly. You know, like, you're not going to make that much realistically unless, you know, you're making that much out there. And if you are, help your girl out, truthfully. But I think you can still find a job if you're an influencer. Like, I mean, I could be wrong. Yes, they blew up because of the whole Demure thing, but I'm sure you can still find a regular schmegular job out there if you tried.
She was a content creator. How she lost her previous job is what I gathered. She like got fired because of her content or something like that.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. And then some people were like, yes, some companies don't want you to be a content creator, but some companies probably will embrace you being a content
I
creator.
think a good example of that in particular is Staples with the Staples girl. Like, she literally,
the Staples girl.
She's a TikToker who like just made TikToks while working at Staples, and then she like popped off, and then Staples, the official company, started like partnering with her, sponsoring her TikToks, and she gets sponsored by like other companies all the time, like PF Chang's or Taco Bell. Like, so
that's
she
everything.
and she still like keeps her job at Staples as well. She's the Staples
love.
baddie. Yeah, Staples baddie. Shout out. She does like hosting gigs in New York at the clubs and stuff, and then she goes and does her 9 to 5.
Like her
she's
Staples outfit.
I think she does dress up. But,
I love going in like uniform. That's kind of cool.
But yeah, she does have her uniform. Yes.
I feel like when I was working my retail job and I was becoming like a little known on MySpace, I was working at that Neighborhoodies, and I remember they loved it. They're like, can you post about us on there? Like, they were like asking me to post. I get what like Jools was saying in the sense of like people would come in. This was like early on. It's like 2008 or something, 2007. And yeah, people would come in and be like, oh, I saw you post about this online. Because my manager would ask me to post about it, and then I did. And then people would just like know where you're at, which I guess is like a little, could be dangerous.
And that I understand. I mean, in that instance, yes, like, I wouldn't want that. Not that I am in that position, or I think I would ever be in that position that Trisha is, because Trisha's like, she's been known in the space for a while now, but that's That's scary. That can be scary. I can say that.
But yeah, I guess that part is like, that's the only maybe difficult part. Or maybe someone like Jools, because she gets like a lot of hate and harassment online, maybe would get more hate and harassment in person. I don't know. She tried to explain it. I don't know her. I've communicated with her via DM. She seems like nice, but people seem to really not like it. They seem to have dogpiled a little hard. Maybe a hot take. I feel like it's a little hard.
I think people were doing too much. I get the point. I think her messaging in her initial TikTok, where like she opened up about how she was supposed to collaborate with a dentist and get her dental work paid for by, doing posts for the dentist, essentially like a collaboration. And then they ended up backing out, but she really needs this dental work done because she has like a lot of pain with her teeth, and they are on the way to fall.
Now, I do think, again, I think maybe her initial TikTok could have been just misconstrued. I think that's a possibility, but I don't understand how she followed it up and made the whole situation worse, in my opinion. Like, she could have cleared up if what she meant wasn't, what we all kind of took and roll with, which was a little degrading for people with normal jobs. That is what it sounded like, but she could have cleared it up, and I think she just made things worse after the fact.
Falling out, essentially, and she was very transparent, being like, I'm embarrassed to do this, but like I need help, so if you can't help me, I'm trying to save up to $45,000, which is a lot. It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And in that TikTok, she said like, and yes, I know I can get a regular job, but I don't think a regular job is going to help me. And people really like fixated on that line because I think it was interpreted for the most part as like, oh, so you don't want to get a regular job, but you want people with regular jobs to give you our regular job money, but you don't want to get the regular people money, So
yeah.
That's kind of how it was interpreted. So my initial response when I saw it, or in my brain was like, if you don't want to donate, no one's has a gun to you.
That's what I thought
kind of like
too.
just kind of keep it moving.
Yeah.
But I think it was just like the wording of it. And saying that specifically is what had people like focusing on. And I get it because I think there's like an exhaustion with influencers in general. Like there's.
And I agree. Like I think that it just leaves a bad taste in our mouth when influencers are asking the viewers for money when, I think it does have a lot to do with the state of our economy. It's horrible right now. So of course we're just like over it because it's like, how are you gonna ask us for money when you are in a privileged position, right? Can't you just make a little bit more content and try to do this another way? Now I also see the other viewpoint that he's trying to point out. We could have just not donated if we didn't want to, which that is an option. I agree, and I think that maybe it was taken out of it exploded. It really did. It was all over my TikTok, but I also think that has to do with the fact that Jools did not really correct anything after the fact. I think she just made it worse with the follow-up video she was making. Kind of just, it seemed like she was a little manic. Oh, sorry.
She did the Tamron Hall show, and she talked about like, now I get $85,000 to post a video, and that clip has also come to haunt her because,
which I believe is right here.
It's like everyone makes you seem like this is so lucky, and this is like you should be so happy that this happened, and it's like I am happy it happened, but it's like, but why am I not happy? Like why am I not happy? Like all my dreams are coming true.
When did the money start coming in?
That started coming in, I want to say like 2 weeks after. And I knew it was different because now it wasn't, oh, we'll give you $2,000 for a video. It was $45,000 for a video, $85,000 for a video. Everything taken care of, everything paid.
Right.
And it's coming from some of the same brands that were paying me $2,000 a video.
So the brands that had been paying you $2,000 now are upping it to $45,000.
They're upping it to $45,000, $60,000, $50,000.
Was that more money than you'd ever made in your life?
Ever made in my family in my entire family life, if anything.
Right.
Something that was so big that like no one had ever seen before, like in my family or even me at all. You know, like obviously like.
Now again, for context, this was at the height of her very demure era, so maybe she isn't making that much anymore per post, because you know time has passed. But just to give some context to the situation.
People keep posting that, like, oh, you made $85,000 for posting a TikTok, and that's more than I make in a year, but you want my money? And then, but she's also been very transparent in her defense, like, you know, she was struggling with, like, substance use, and she just really, like, mismanaged her money, and obviously, like, it comes really quick, really fast, and you think it's gonna last forever. When you're younger, you're just like, oh, I made money this easily, it's gonna keep coming in. And
that's
not
true.
And again, we don't know anybody's financial situation ever unless you're in a relationship with them and are actually, you know, financially tied to them. We don't know. And clearly they were going through something whenever this was going on, and they've already said, you know, they have substance abuse issues. And we're going to touch on that a little bit more in a second.
Case. So there's so many elements to it. I think people are doing too much. Like, I see Jeffree Star in there, like, cursing her out. I'm like, listen, you're on TikTok Live for the Galaxies. Like, we're all not that different, you know, at the end of the day.
That
so
part, we're
yeah.
all hustling.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree that what she said was, like, yeah, like, tone deaf, and like, that's, like, annoying and stuff like that. But, like, yeah, when I went to go check her GoFundMe, it was at, like, 8,000, but I think she since deleted it.
Yeah.
And I was like, honestly, I was about to go donate, because it's like, yeah, like, don't ask everybody. I kind of felt bad. I know the struggle. Trust me, I know. I spent $45,000 on a Birkin. I was trying to sell that thing because I was like, I also need money. Like, it's like, I know how fast it can go, how broke it can be, how embarrassing it is. Trust me, when I was selling those Birkins.
And again, I think Trisha donating, I don't think it changes anything. Like, if she were to actually donate, I think her situation is different. Trisha is able to donate. Trisha understands the situation Jools is in, because Trisha was likely in a similar situation to her, you know, as far as understanding the fame and the money that brings and how much it comes and goes. And that's understandable. I just think the way Jools just framed it and then went with it and then took off with it it could have been handled a lot better. It could have not been this entire situation, you know? And I think that we're also just tired of influencers asking us for money when we're already giving them our support. Like, we're regular schmegler people. Yeah. Why do I keep doing this?
It can feel that way and stuff, and I was doing way more for $1, you know what I mean? I was trying to do, or way less, I guess. You know, I didn't felt for her, so I was like, well, in my position, I was like, well, I'll go donate a little bit to her GoFundMe, why not? But then it was taken down already, and I was like, well, $8,000 was collected, and then I guess it refunds if you don't collect the full thing or if you cancel it.
Yeah, she was getting, like, a lot of backlash almost immediately, and then also she ended up getting responses from dentists offering to help her, so I think that started being taken. So, like,
that's
in
great.
retrospect, I think instead of being like, hey, can you guys, like, donate, you could be like, hey, like, I was supposed to work with a dentist, they pulled out last minute, I'm going through this with my teeth, explaining, like, what's going on, why it's that price.
Again, it could have been handled differently.
And why it hurt. Like, I think if she just explained it better and was just like, so this is kind of embarrassing, but like, if there's any dentists who like want to collaborate with me, like, I would be so grateful. I feel like people would have like rallied behind that and been like way more excited about it.
That's true, you're right.
Versus like,
I can't get a real job.
Regular people, can you give me money? I think too, Jools was like on Twitch. She was live on Twitch and was like getting defensive, and I get why, because people were coming down so intensely as if she like murdered something. Like, it was like way over the top, like the hate she was getting. But she was like, have you ever been an internet celebrity trying to get a job? No, you haven't. So I just like that also like put a bad taste in.
Absolutely. I think that just felt like it just kind of made the initial video seem like that is what the intention was to just kind of like put us regular people down. So I think, I don't know. It's a bad situation. all around. I think that if it was handled differently, then we wouldn't be having this conversation right now.
People's mouths. I think she just worded it wrong.
Yeah.
And I don't think her intent was like anything nefarious. I think she really just needed help, and I think she was in a lot of pain. Dental pain is like the worst because there's nothing you can do about it, and it's just like constant, and it affects like your brain. It just affects everything. It's like debilitating. So I feel for her. Hey, everyone was doing a little much, but like
so much.
But also
Oh
in
my
her
gosh.
case, she's been honest about addiction and substance abuse, which goes hand in hand with your teeth getting to this stage. So she's been honest about it. It's not like she was in any way trying to get people to donate, and she was not, I don't know,
People
using
just
her
love to
money
hate.
right. It just, addiction is very bad. And because I just remember seeing her TikToks when she was like kind of like coming out of the addiction and trying to organize her life and getting back on track and all that, you know. So I just think if somebody is that honest, you should let them do what they want to do. You don't need to.
And struggling. It's like, okay, Shad is struggling. Obviously, like, didn't word it correctly, but damn, people really.
Yeah. And I think, too, what people forget, back when Pretty Demure and Pretty Mindful was taking off, we were in a very different political climate. Like, within the past couple years, a lot of trans creators have come out and said, like, I used to be working with this company, and now, like, I'm not getting any brand deals anymore, and it's because this political climate, it doesn't feel as safe for some brands to collaborate with trans creators because it gets interpreted, as you see with Dylan Mulvaney, as a political statement. Dylan Mulvaney just got a PR, and then they freaking were on her ass still to this day. Remember when she got the Budweiser?
Yeah, that was huge.
Well, but that was like a campaign, right? She was like a spokesperson.
She got but they Donald Trump still talks about it as if they did an official collaboration. It was like the Dylan Mulvaney can, and she did like a sponsored post.
Oh,
you know?
I didn't know. It didn't matter, but I didn't know. Yeah, because I did see that she talked about like,
she still gets like death threats to this day because she did like a sponsored post for Budweiser. So like, trans creators in general right now don't get that many opportunities, especially trans creators of color on top of that. So there's like different elements to it that make me sympathetic to her. But yeah, I think
and I think Jools has been honest about how she has helped her family too, since she was able to.
I like how you said last week, like you almost need someone to run this by. Like if if you feel a little dicey about it, like it might shake the table too much, just run it by a few people and get some second opinions. Like, did I word this right? Because like intent is one thing, but like you never know how it's going to be perceived.
I know. That's why I felt for her. I'm like, gosh, I know I've always misspoken, and you take that one thing out, and then you just sound like an asshole, and you're like, that's not what I meant, and then it's just like, so that's why I kind of felt for her. Because it was all over mine, and people just being so mad and so angry. And I was like, oh my God, we can just keep it moving. But, because also, like just that alone, like asking people for help is, nobody wants to do that. You know what I mean? Like, it's, especially when you brag, talk about all your accolades and stuff like that. People don't want to hear it. 80,000 is a lot. Damn. It's a lot for a brand deal.
I know.
Or forever what she was making. Damn. But we really do.
Don't rush.
I mean, it is kind of crazy, you know. At the end of the day, I don't know. I think that, again, it could have been nothing. This couldn't even have been a conversation that we're all having if it was addressed properly. Because I do think that there's a possibility. Like Trisha said, maybe she misspoke and maybe she didn't mean to phrase it that way. But then she kind of doubled down whenever she said, are you an influencer? Have you ever tried to find a job, a 9 to 5? Excuse me? Have you? Like, ever since? Like, it's hard. It is hard just as a regular person to even find a job. The economy is horrible right now, even just for a regular person. I had to recently look for a new position. You have no idea how many job applications I had to do. Yeah. It's a full-time job to find another job. And it's not easy out here, truthfully. And I understand what she's saying, that maybe it is a little bit harder for an influencer, but I'm pretty sure if you tried, you could find a job. if you try hard enough, anything is possible. And I don't think it would be that hard. Now, if there's a specific job you're trying to look for and like you're trying to go for that, then maybe that's where we're having a little bit of issues. But there are regular schmegler jobs out there that I'm sure that they would have no issue with giving you a position.
Sometimes.
Yeah, again, she was young and it's just so much at once. And I think like people added it up, she probably made like around 500,000. Wow. So people are like, oh, you made this much, then why are you asking us for help? Which I get. Because, like, I mean, with even buying my house and like seeing how if with my regular job, like that wouldn't have been enough for me to get a house, you know? So like I get it. I get why people will have that resentment towards influencers. So it's like you really have to just like whenever you're asking something from your audience, you just have to be like very mindful and very demure about what the hell you're asking people for. You know?
Should get a check every time someone says it, because I think she got kind of screwed out of that too, where it's kind of like she did kind of create this thing, and like companies and brands and everyone was using it, but not really using her to promote it. And it's like, I mean, granted, she didn't invent it. I get that. There's a whole argument about that too, but it's also like, you know. I think Beyonce had said it at a concert. Everyone's like, that's when you know you made it. And then she was like, well, damn, I didn't get anything.
Yeah,
She was the face of demure. Even if she didn't invent it, she kind of made it popular.
Yeah, and then if we really get into it, like if it was like a skinny cis white girl, like she would be getting commercial. Like it would be endless work, a la like Jen from Love Island. Like just every opportunity in the world if she was, you know, like a white blonde cis girl. So I feel for her.
Was Jen in Carl's Jr.? Is that the one that did Carl's Jr.?
Jen just did Carl's Jr. She is speed running those brand deals, which is fierce. But
she was the one at the beginning that had like crazy eyes, right?
That's Kenzie.
Oh.
Kenzie's a clam slammer with intense eyes.
She should have been the Carl's Jr. Clam Slam burger.
Ooh, like a clam chowder company needs to partner with Kenzie.
Panera or something. Clam Slam. They did a Jake Shane collaboration.
Yeah. Okay, I think that's all that they spoke on that topic. And again, I think that it could have been handled differently. I think that at the end of the day, Jools is in a privileged position. She is an influencer. She does have a following. There could have been some other steps to be had before asking for donations. And she could have still asked for donations, and that's good and all, but it was handled not properly at all. And I also did see a dentist comment on this, and she was saying that yes, that surgery that they are asking for her to do, that is one option, and that's probably like the best option she could have. But there are other options she could do until she's able to save up for that $45,000 surgery. You know, like there are other options. Us regular people wouldn't be able to pay that much regardless. Most regular people would not be able to pay that much. That is a lot of money. So a lot of people do choose the other options that are kind of more like temporary solutions. And then they even mentioned that temporary solution, some people use it as a permanent solution, because $40,000 to $45,000 is insane for dental work. I'm sorry. I wish I was an influencer. Excuse me. Now, there are people that have been also speculating that maybe something else is going on, because again, the follow-up from that initial video where she was asking for donations was a little intense. So because there is substance abuse involved, people have been speculating that maybe something is going on now. And I hope that is not, and that's all I'm going to say in regards to that. Now, Jools did post this, and this was for when? A day ago. She posted this a day ago.
You guys got me.
Which is really sad to see. You know, clearly there is something going on, or maybe this, I mean, it sounds like she's not making this seem like it has to do with her dental issues. But maybe, I think there is more to this conversation, and I think that this conversation is a little bit nuanced. I think that things could have been handled differently, absolutely. But yeah, what do you guys think? I think that this is a conversation that is kind of interesting to have and to kind of look at all the different viewpoints that there is. But I'm interested to see what you guys have to say about it. So yeah, let me know your thoughts. And that is all for this one. Thank you so much for watching, and see you on the next one. Hey bro, what are you doing? He's just over there sneezing. Oh my gosh, that has been a lot. I don't understand how you guys are still watching. Thank you so much, truthfully. Like, y'all are insane. I don't know. That was a lot. Maybe I should split these up because I feel like I can't talk anymore. I've never done a video or live this long, or I'm talking this much. I think I've probably done like lives this long where I'm playing. I love to play Animal Crossing. You see, I can't even talk. I play Animal Crossing. I play Fortnite. I love to play Minecraft. Oh my gosh, so fun. But yeah, this is a lot. I'm not used to talking this much. Okay. Hi guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about Shane Dawson once again. Tana Mojo finally responded to the whole situation involving Shane Dawson and how he treated her when she was young. All the weird, creepy videos that he did to involve her. She finally addressed it in her Brand Safe podcast, and we're going to take a little deep dive into it.
TikTok. It's 2:30 in the morning, and you know what I mean? There's something to be said about not posting the draft at 2:30 in the morning. And it's funny because I ran this idea by Trevi too, and she was like, "Tana, are you sure you want to do that?" And I was like, "Yeah, what do you mean? I think it's harmless." And I posted this TikTok basically saying it's Trevi and I sitting down doing that documentary trend, and I'm like, us sitting down to talk about being in Shane Dawson videos, okay? And all of a sudden my comments are flooded with just Shane Dawson praise. These people wanted me to take the stairs up the Empire State Building and jump the fuck off and splat on the pavement. And I was like, damn, because the thing is, I want to talk about the TikTok for a second. I was joking.
Watch baseball all season long.
Sorry.
I wasn't harboring resentment. I wasn't harboring anger. I just was like making a funny, or what I thought to be a funny. I feel like I see so many people doing this documentary trend, and they're almost like, and I don't know if ostracized is the right word, but they're like speaking in hyperbole when doing the trend is what I'm trying to say. Even I saw Bryce Hall the other day be like, when you sit down to make a documentary about being in TikTok relationships. And it's like, that's not a real thing. It's not a real documentary. And maybe documentary trend was a little too close to home with Shane Dawson and all of his documentaries and all of these things. I don't know, but I felt like a lot of people were speaking kind of in hyperbole or general statements for this trend. And I thought it would end up being a light funny, because here's what I want to say before I get into Morgan Adams' comment, okay? The sky is blue, bear shit in the woods, and Shane Dawson saved my career after TanaCon. I would tell the mailman that. I say it all the time. There's not a part of me.
Honestly, during this era, I was watching Shane Dawson when it comes to like his documentaries, and I even remember watching that documentary with Tana when it first came out, and it was the only time that I really heard about TanaCon. Other than that, I knew Tana from Vlog Squad days, and that was like my extent of her content that I was aware of.
Me that does not feel that way. I am so genuinely grateful that he decided to make that and deep dive and like sit there. And at the time, I very much felt as though he was very there for me, and I really appreciate it. I don't know what I would have done during that time or who I would have been during that time if it was not for him and if it was not for that documentary. And I will say that until the day that I die. Can I look back now and understand that it was like a mutually beneficial thing to an extent? And that's not me saying like I gave Shane Dawson anything. He could have easily gone and found another documentary with someone else. But like I was happy that that was the thing. I was happy that it was a good thing for him and that it was a helpful thing for me in navigating the aftermath of TanaCon and my regrets and my stupid mistakes and all of those things. And I cannot be more clear about that, okay? And I'll never not say that, you know? Here's the other thing. He was my idol. I grew up loving him. I would not be sitting here right now in my backyard of my home with a podcast microphone talking.
Mind you, Tana was very young during this entire situation. I can't remember if she was 18. I think she was exactly 18 or 19. I think she mentions it.
To these cameras if it was not for Shane Dawson, and that is a fucking fact. I discovered his videos. They made me want to make videos. That sense of humor was very aligned with like my universe and the people around me and like just the way that I grew up. I didn't think anything of it being wrong or bad or anything. And when he eventually reached out to me to make that first video or do that first thing, I was in a back bent. I couldn't even believe.
And granted, I do think that Tana was a little bit vindicated from that documentary. I do think that it kind of saved her. I didn't know much about Tana. I kind of like heard all the bad press about TanaCon during that time, and I was like, ooh, like that's pretty bad, you know? And when the documentary went out, I felt like people started to empathize with her and really started to see the situation a little bit differently.
It was my life. Like, I had watched him for so long, and I was such a super fan, as was everyone at that time. So going over there and going to his house and flying out to LA to see him and all of those things, I can't stress to you enough, changed the course of my life. And it's interesting because I thought that people were well aware that I felt that way. Like, again, the TikTok was very joking and light, and I didn't mean it that way. I didn't mean it in some, like, we're going to make a documentary about Shane being horrible and holding us captive and holding us at gunpoint to film these. Like, I almost feel like that's how the comments were treating me. Like, I was saying that there's this big thing to be unveiled and that, like, fuck him, you know what I mean? And then seeing people say, like, she switches up on people when it's convenient for her and, like, whatever. And I'm like, no, I just got older. I got a lot older. I became 28 years old. I'm talking about this a lot in my book, but with a lot of the men in my life, okay? It's not black and white. And one thing that the internet does not have anymore, in my opinion, in a lot of scenarios, is nuance. It is a very nuanced situation, right? Where, like, he did save my career. And
which I agree, like, you can acknowledge all the good that he did with that documentary with her, but you can also agree that there are other things that were weird, and there are other things that she has the right to feel a little bit differently now that she's able to look back with a more mature eyes, within an age where I think at the time he was at that age, and see that she would never do anything like that.
And I did idolize him. I had fun making those videos at the time and all of those different things, right? But I can now look back at certain videos and be like sitting down and like doing an entire video around like celebrating me turning 18. I remember I couldn't drink yet, and he was like, well, we could do like kombucha and see if you're fucked up. And like at that time, obviously being like a super fan of him and like filming that and just being 18 and excited about everything and excited about coming to LA and excited that my idol wants to film anything. But now I can look at that through the eyes of understanding what celebrating someone who's turning 18 means, what celebrating someone turning 18, you know, that back-ended, like that real meaning of that, you know? Obviously with him being, I don't know how old he was, I think he was like 28 or 29. Like obviously looking back now, I can't imagine me at this age filming a video celebrating somebody turning 18 and making them pee on them. Like, it is crazy. I said this about the Cody Ko thing too. I think I went through so many actually traumatizing things in my life that when I look back at all of that, I can look back at like the peeing and the straddling, not being the most viewed video like ever, and like all of those things, and being like, it's a little, it makes me like, oh, that's fierce, like like damn, but I'm not like deeply traumatized, and I'm not saying that I am. But even if I was saying that I am, my problem is the fact that people have a problem with that. Like, you can get older and change your opinions. There's another person in my life who is not.
I absolutely agree with that. I think that especially when you're going through it, and you know, it's different for everybody, but she probably was going through a lot, and that's why to her, like, that wasn't traumatizing. But if it was anybody else, maybe they could have been traumatized. And she has every right to feel however she feels about that situation, because it happened to her. It's her situation. She lived it. It is a weird thing. And however she feels about that, it's her right. You know, it's her situation. She lived through it. How are you going to tell her how to feel about it? She lived through it.
Not Shane. That met me. I was 15 and they were 27. And on my 27th birthday, I had this moment where I thought about the ways that they were to me. This is not Shane, this is a different person. The ways that they were to me from 15 to 18, and they were 27. And on my 27th birthday, I literally sat and thought, like, I could never be that way to a 15-year-old, and it's really crazy that that person could. And again, it's the nuance, because it's like, I also had a lot of fun with him. And there was this, like, you're my idol, which is speaking to a power dynamic a little bit. And then for some reason as well, I think that me being fatherless as fuck put so many of these older men in my life into this, like, dad role. And looking back, it's like, well, I'm actually peeing on you for a vlog. You're not my dad. You're an older man that's in my life. And he also gave me so much wisdom about YouTube and about this industry. And there were even moments where he looked out for me from other men. And now I look back and it's all kind of confusing and spiderwebby to me, like different things. But what I will say is I don't think Shane ever wanted to fuck me. And a lot of these men wanted to or did fuck me, you know? So I'm not coming at him, but I think that we can get older and we can recognize little parts that were a little strange, right? It also was a different time. It's not like the comments on that video or those videos.
And again, two things can be true at the same time. While she was going through it, she probably didn't feel that it was weird or anything. Not only was she younger, but when you're in it, you see things differently. And then when time passes and you kind of reflect on a relationship, it's like, damn, like a couple of things were a little bit messed up. You know, like you can see it in a different viewpoint other than just being more mature. And also just, it comes with age too, guys. Like, as you're getting older, you see things a lot differently, and you can see people's actions for what they actually are. That maybe back then you couldn't see, especially when you're in it. Sometimes you can't see, people's actions and how messed up they can be. Even if it's right, like, in front of your face. Sometimes you have to be out of it to be able to view it differently.
Videos with me were like, this is fucking weird. Why would you do this? Like, they were celebrating it. Shock factor videos were celebrated. And I don't even think I really realized how shocking they were. I had grown up in such a crazy household and become so crazy. And I also realized that I was rewarded with attention for being crazy. So I was in this loop of how can I say the craziest thing or do the craziest thing almost as a survival mechanism to get out of the situation that I was in prior, And like, is there a part of me that wished that when I was 17 to 20, 16 to 20, whatever.
And again, Tana has done a lot of things. Yes, we can all agree with that. But we can also agree that Tana has gone through a lot. So for her to be in this era where she is able to come on here and talk about it very truthfully, very rawfully, it is what it is. It's really impressive, and I give her respect for that. Like, credit where credit is due. It's hard to look back at your life and understand that that was a different person. Like, she was a different person at that age. She was a different person at that stage. And yes, she might not have viewed things like she does now, but with age, you just tend to see things a lot more clearer. And you tend to just not be clouded by, especially in her situation where she had so much fame back then, and it was happening all so fast. So yeah, I think it is a very nuanced conversation.
It is. And I would walk in and sit on those podcasts or sit in those YouTube videos, and I'm saying the most crazy sexual shit in the world, that like men weren't just rewarding it, that there were people who put a boundary down, or people who were maybe like, I'm not going to be around that, versus welcoming it and, trying to get more out of me and all of those things. But I think that the times were just different. They really were. It was a completely different time where that was celebrated and fine. And once again, when I look at the list of people who really took advantage of me being that way, Shane Dawson is not even in my top 5 or my top 10. I don't think that. And that's the thing. I have tried to reach out, by the way, to anyone saying, like, why haven't you?
Which is a sad thing to admit. That is sad, and I feel horrible for her, but that's not to say that what Shane Dawson did wasn't bad.
Tried to reach out. I have, and he didn't respond. But when I look at our old messages, like, it was me thanking him for being all of these things, like a father figure and someone who was so there for me, and him responding so kindly. Is there a part of me that, once the views dropped and the different things like went away, it's not like he was reaching out or even responding back to me, like, but I also was crazy and going through different things, and so was he, so I don't necessarily blame him for that. I think that it wasn't the relationship that I thought it was. I think it was more for views and attention, and that's also okay. I mean, like, I would be lying if I said I didn't end up becoming that person more and more before I was like radicalized and humbled and became a real fucking person and not an NPC bot. But it is just, it's nuanced and it's interesting to me now. As I get older and older, there are so many things, a slew of things that I can look back on, and relationships with men that I had. It's not just black and white, this person was horrible and a predator and all of these things, but I can look back and say that some people's behaviors were maybe not okay, regardless of who I was and how I was acting. And, that takes me back to being defensive about even the Cody Ko thing. Like, when that whole thing dropped, the amount of people who were just straight up blaming me for him sleeping with me when I was 17. It's so crazy to me. It always will be. And again, I think that my skin is and was thick enough for that. Maybe not so much now. Maybe my skin's a little less thick now, but it made me so mad for all of the crazy girls out there, or young girls who are a little bit lost in life, or maybe fatherless, or going through certain things, who think like, damn, I'm just gonna be blamed for it. I'm just gonna be not believed or valued because I wore a crazy thing or said a crazy thing or did a crazy thing. That's where I draw the line. If someone is a child or newly an adult, no matter who they are and how they act, they deserve to be fought for. And I am not angry at Shane at all. At some point in life, would I love to have an off-camera conversation with him about the like crazy videos and stuff? Yes. But again, super nuanced. Saved my career. Had a lot of fun together.
And again, I don't think her saying that is that crazy, in my opinion. I mean, I think that assuming that she doesn't want to have a relationship with him now, because, I mean, we don't know if he's changed or anything, but having a conversation with a person who you had a relationship with that was a little weird, I understand how validating that could feel, right? To kind of have a conversation about that relationship, have a conversation about A, it being open, and 2, being truthful about owning up to your mistakes, which is what I'm assuming Tana would want for Shane. And at the end of the day, Tana was 18. That is still very, very young. I'm sure that, again, she looked up to him. There is that power dynamic coming into play. And I do think Shane was in the wrong.
Rather idle, like with a little power dynamic sprinkle, of course, but who cares? Like, it changed the course of my life, and it was, lots of those moments were so amazing. Like, truly, I will never forget. I can drive to his first house from memory to this day, like pulling up there and thinking like, this may change my life, and like, I grew up on this person and they changed my life, and I wouldn't be sitting here today. And it makes me emotional because I really, if I never stumbled across his video, I wouldn't be here today.
Yes, I'm on YouTube too.
However, Morgan Adams' comment just pissed me off. And even seeing people be like, W Morgan, I'm like, and I was talking about this today. But if Amari was having someone fucking pee on them, okay, who's newly 18, I would not, obviously now in today's day and age, let it happen. But let's say it ended up happening, and then 10 years go by. I'm gonna be like, hey, that thing you did was kind of wonky. And the thing is Morgan wasn't even around during those times. So I get it now. You want to like blindly defend your family member that you love. But I just don't believe in blind defense. I don't. No matter how much you love someone. I think that true love is accountability. And I am all for growth and change. And he has adopted kids, and I
don't get me started on this, but I completely agree. You should not just be okay with your family members doing things that are not okay. I think that people should get called out for their wrongdoings. I think that that should be viewed as love. Again, not disrespecting one another, of course, but if you can't have a nuanced conversation and you can't call out your loved one and, you know, vice versa, then is that really a relationship? Like, is that really an open relationship where you can actually be able to communicate freely and, you know, grow and feel like an actual family? And it's sad because not a lot of people are able to have that or to be able to do that. So again, I'm interested to hear everybody's take on this because I think that we all live very different lives, and I know people have different perspectives, and I think that's the entire point of this, is to share each other's perspectives so that way we can be better people. And wouldn't you want that for your own family, the people you live with? You know, I think you should be able to call each other out, and in a respectful way. But otherwise, then how are we going to improve? How are we going to become better people if maybe to some degree people might not know what they're doing wrong? Again, this is not about Shane because that is wrong. But in a more like chill environment where it's your family member doing something like simple that is not okay, like you should be able to call them out. And I do think that's love. And if they take it the wrong way, I think that says more about them than anything.
Hope to God that him and Ryland are thriving and raising those kids, and he has grown so much as a person and like is living a beautiful life. Truly, I do. But two things can be true. You can acknowledge like, I shouldn't have probably done those things. I think he kind of did in his apologies. Again, I'm not coming for him at all. But for her to just like open her thing and be like, he was your dad, and it's like, yeah, but that's a little weird. The dad-daughter relationship, but also please pee on me, is like a little strange. And I don't even know exactly what her exact comment read now, but I know that it was something along the lines of that. And then people just being like, W. Morgan, she tore. And I'm like, where? Let's all come back to earth for a second. Like, again, nuance. The internet does not have nuance. I'm not utterly villainizing him, but I am getting older and recognizing, you know, cracked parts in the foundations of my formative years and coming to...
And again, her looking up to him and having that dad relationship that she was really just looking to find within their relationship, again, says a lot. And it's sad to hear that because, in my opinion, I think Shane should apologize to Tana because I'm sure even now, looking back at it, she wishes that the relationship would be different because at the time, it probably affected her in ways that she doesn't even recognize. And you can tell the way she speaks on it, it kind of is she trying to say that it's okay that their relationship was different. But you can tell that that was a relationship that she needed, not with Shane, but she needed somebody to actually be there for her at that time and guide her and be that father figure. And sadly, Shane wasn't the right person for that.
LA and just different things. And once again, I'm so serious. If I really sat and made a fucking list of the men who traumatized me, I don't even know if Shane Dawson or Cody Ko would make the top 5 or top 10. And I don't even also want to group those two people together. You know what I mean? One did an illegal thing and one just filmed some weird shit.
Sorry. Oh my gosh.
I'm not sitting here begging for the world to like feel sorry for me. Again, I think that my childhood played a part in me being that way, and it's for me and me only to work that out, to continue to be the example and fight for the young girls that are following me. And know that no matter how crazy you were, if you go through some crazy, you deserve to be like heard and validated and all of those things. And I found it very interesting, Morgan as a woman, like, because I think her and I are really similar in age. And I'm like, I really wonder when you were 17 and 18, just in the exact same situation, how you would feel if someone made that comment about you, especially over a TikTok that was quite literally a joke. And I debated talking about this. I really did, because here's the thing. I just told you guys, I am in a vulnerable ass part of my life where like I can already see this being clipped and being like, no, Tana was a whore and she was a crazy child and Shane saved her career. I'm like, why the fuck is she talking about this? She's dragging it. I hate Tana now, like whatever it may be. But like at the same time, I think the only way that I can get back to me maybe not giving a fuck as much is being real as fuck. Like doing what I have always done and say what's on my mind, and that's what's on my mind. And like I hope that you know it's coming from a place of like genuinely I think about all of the young girls following me, and like I wanted to come online and like I guess explain that and kind of defend myself a little bit, I guess, to her comment, because it really did honestly hurt my feelings and just like make me be like, girl, for 2 seconds, leave your Shane Dawson multiverse and just sit in mine. And again, not feel sorry for me. I don't want pity. It is incredibly nuanced. I owe him for the rest of my life for helping me after TanaCon, whether it helped him or not, and I know that. I did idolize him and look up to him. But like getting older and looking back at things that happened when you were younger, whether underage or immediately of age, and having different opinions on them than you did when you were younger is okay. Had I had maybe parents, right? Like, you know, I can imagine having a daughter and, you know, if that video came out, like how I would feel. Again, I don't think that he like wanted me or wanted to fuck me or wanted to like do any of those things. I'm not saying any of that. And it would be one thing as well if he commented that, you know, then I would really like want to sit and talk to him and sit and think, but it was just like, you weren't even around. Like you don't know. I hope I did a decent job of explaining that, because I truly cannot express to you enough the nuance. Word of today's podcast. And I really do plan to continue to work through all of these things in therapy.
And honestly, Tana usually exaggerates things. That's just like what she does, you know, like in her story times and anything, even like some parts of some of her podcast episodes that have been clipped, you can tell she just exaggerates things. That's just what Tana does. But I really appreciate how kind of this feels extremely honest to me, and it is a very sensitive topic. And for her to be this vulnerable, it does say a lot. And again, it doesn't excuse everything that Tana has done, but it's just based on the situation. I think Tana has the right to feel however way she wants to feel about this thing that she experienced herself. Morgan isn't a part of that. Morgan doesn't have Tana's experience. Tana experienced her own experience.
And in the process of writing my book, there is just so much that you guys don't know as well. I think that eventually when the book comes out, the whole puzzle will be together. I think a lot of people did a lot of things to me when I was younger. And it's this big like spider web that I have to work through. And as I get older, I become more and more aghast by the actions of grown adults in my life. It's honestly the biggest trope of my life. And I'm finally at this place where I feel like a fully formed adult. And I'm like, it's fierce, you know, and I will continue to work through them. And I hope that I can also just get to a point where I can sit down and say, like, if you don't fucking like me, or you think that I am some secret, evil, malicious, horrible person and I'm trying to put on some facade now, and you don't like, I guess the outfit doesn't help, but like, this is who I am now, and I'm happy. And like, I think I'm moving in a way that I will be proud of when I'm 50, when I'm 60, when I'm on my deathbed, for Christ's sakes. I think I'm becoming the best person I can be to become the best mother I can be, and best, all of the things, you know, and again, there's no ceiling to that. And like, we're still learning and growing and stuff, but there's no big like skeleton, and the internet is just so interesting. I just want to get to a point where I can say, like, if you don't fucking like me, go off. I'm just going to catch this vibe out here with the trees and like mean it fully and like almost take something from younger Tana. I think for a very long time I was on about holding hands with your younger self, right? On and on and on, and I still am. I think it's very important to hold hands with your younger self, but it's like I was just skipping and holding her hand in every piece of content that I was making, right? I meant that. But there was this disconnect with me where I'm like, I'm holding hands with my younger self and I'm showing her around and I'm showing her this beautiful life, but I didn't want to be anything like her. And I almost think it's easy that once you start growing to almost become addicted to it, to just want to grow and grow and grow and grow. But it's like, you don't want to wake up one day and be like, I lost a lot of parts of who I was because I was being overly critical of myself, trying to like growth max. Okay, word to clavicular. And like, I can acknowledge now that true holding hands with my younger self would also mean that there are parts of her that I admire. One of those being her incredible resilience and ability to kind of be firm in who she was and brush things off of her shoulder. And again, I think that came with her not caring about her reputation, being in fight or flight at all times. And I think that I'm going to get to this place where I can take a page out of her book and care about my reputation and care about who I am, but also care a little less about the internet and what they have to say. 2026 is also just fierce. Like, just the internet just used to be.
Okay, I think that is where we can leave that. Again, this is Tana's experience and only Tana's experience. For her to feel however she needs to feel. I think, again, I empathize a lot with everything she's gone through. She has gone through a lot. I think we can sit here and say that, yes, we're not excusing anything that she has done in the past, which frankly I could do a deep dive on it, honestly, because I don't know probably half of the things that she has done. But now in current day, you can also acknowledge that she has grown a lot, and it seems like she's trying to change, which, I mean, clearly she's happy where she's at, she's happy where she's going, and what more can we ask of a person, truthfully? And yeah, I think, again, I agree. I think this is a nuanced conversation, and I think it's a conversation that only her and Shane can have. And yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. I think we need to do better. Do better, be kind and respectful of other people's experiences, because I do agree. I think a lot of the things that people are accusing her of, or kind of taking this conversation to, I feel for her in her wanting to speak up for other women who might be going through the same thing. It's a horrible, horrible, horrible situation to be in, and she has every right to feel however she feels, because at the end of the day, that was creepy and that was weird. And I'm gonna leave it there. All right, thank you so much for everybody that has been watching. I can't believe people have actually stayed on this long and watched me. Thank you so much for all the love. I really appreciate it. You guys have been so kind. And yeah, I'll see you on the next one. Guys, what are we doing? Does anybody want or have any thoughts, any suggestions, anything, absolutely anything to comment on? Because I think we have been on long enough, and I need to end this so that way I can start clipping these videos together and uploading them. But I can't believe people are actually here and in the chat and watching me throughout this entire time. That's insane. Y'all are crazy. No? Nothing to say? Alright, guys. Well, I truly, truly, truly appreciate it. You guys have been so great and truthfully inspiring me to continue creating content, and I'm so glad you guys are enjoying it. So thank you so much. And yeah, I think this is it for today. Thank you so much. Bye.